We've got an expert lined up to speak to us right now regarding what's going on in Iran.
That's right, we do. We have this morning Police Director Jason Brodsky, Policy Director, that is, at United Against Nuclear Iran. Jason, good afternoon. Nice to see you.
Great to be with you. Thank you.
We thank you for your time this morning. Give us your thoughts on what's happening in the Middle East. I know that's a loaded question, but kind of in terms of policy, what are you seeing right now from your perspective?
Well, I think the Trump administration entered this conflict through Operation Epic Fury in order to end a war, not begin a new war. And what I mean by that is the Islamic Republic of Iran has been at war with the United States since 1979, when it seized the U.S. Embassy in Tehran and took 44 of our diplomats hostage. And ever since that time, it's been killing American citizens and attempting to harm them. And it's currently holding Americans hostage in Tehran as we speak. So this is a national security interest for the United States to try to deprive of the Iranian regime of the ability to project power abroad.
Okay, so we just heard in that news conference some discussion of regime change and who ultimately will be leading Iran. What was your take on the selection of their of the son of the current leader, or the guy who used to be in charge? This is Mojtaba Khamenei, and some have said maybe he represents a fresh start. Others have said he might be more hardline than his father was. What do you think?
Well, yes, Mojtaba Khamenei is the third supreme leader of the Islamic Republic. I believe that Mojtaba will be a continuation of his father's legacy. And in fact, he will really take Iran into an even hardline direction, because he has marinated in very radical currents throughout his career in Iran. And I think he is propped up by the military and security apparatus of the Islamic Republic, particularly a close circle of advisors that he's cultivated throughout his career. And these are very radical actors of the Islamic Republic's political elite.
I had read that in some quarters it's felt that the military is more calling the shots than the mullahs, the Ayatollah, etc. And this is the guy they wanted because they viewed him as weak so that they could continue doing what they're doing. True or false?
I don't think Mojtaba is weak. I think Mojtaba is in lockstep with the military security services to the effect that he has developed his own patronage network in Iran. And these military and security services have relied on him for their own protection and their own livelihoods in Iran. So I think that there's a mutual reinforcing partnership there.
What is it like there in terms of policy? I think for us as Americans, it's hard for us to imagine what it's like in Iran because we've never been possibly to that country. When the former Ayatollah was taken down, there, at least here in Arizona and around the country, there was Iranians who were storming the streets. They were grateful that this had happened. Obviously, there were protests on both sides, but there in Iran, when you look at this new leader who has been named, are there people there who probably are still not happy with them naming him as the successor?
Yes, Mojtaba Khamenei is a deeply unpopular leader in Iran. The majority of Iranians want the Islamic Republic to fall. They want the system gone because they view the Islamic Republic as repressing them and also undertaking spectacular mismanagement of the country. And the Iranian people don't think that there's any prospect that this regime can be reformed. So they want the current political elite to fall, and Mojtaba Khamenei as the next supreme leader is a product of that political elite.
But how can that happen without boots on the ground?
Well, I think that I think that the U.S. objectives, the most realistic U.S. objectives, is to deprive the Iranian regime of the ability to project power that challenges and threatens U.S. interests abroad. But that also in the process weakens the Iranian system, and that evens the playing field between the Iranian people and the system, and can down the road create the conditions for regime change. I don't think that U.S. forces will be on the ground in the Islamic Republic. That's not what the president envisions. He views this as an air power war. But what this will do, hopefully down the line, is to enable Iranians to retake their country.
So we have a lot of people in our chat on YouTube with some very good questions. Here's one for you from Darren Lloyd. He asks, how would the Iranian people rise up? So let's hypothetically think, you said it would be an attack from the air. That happens. How then would the Iranians rise up?
There have been multiple rounds of protests in Iran since 2017 calling for the end of the Islamic Republic, and they've grown more in number and in violence since that time. And so I think Iranians have been waiting for the coercive power of the Islamic Republic to weaken, and this is what it has done as a result of U.S. airstrikes. U.S. airstrikes have not just been targeting the missile and the nuclear facilities of the Islamic Republic, they've also been targeting the internal security structure of Iran, which it uses to repress the people. So that's how that would create the conditions down the line to even the playing field with the Iranian people.
Well, your organization is called United Against a Nuclear Iran. Is this doing this? Is this getting that threat removed? Or how far do we really have to go to get at some of that nuclear material that might very well be buried underground from our previous attacks last year?
Well, I think that President Trump has gone a long way in neutralizing the threat of a nuclear Iran, because the nuclear enrichment capacity of Iran as it existed before the Operation Midnight Hammer last year is no longer in existence. But there are still facilities of concern, for example, Pickaxe Mountain in Iran, as well as you referenced, the stockpile of highly enriched uranium that the U.S. should absolutely try to secure during this operation. There are special commando units that the U.S. maintains, which may be able to undertake that. They have very special training in these circumstances, and that might be something to look out for in the coming days.
Jason, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate it. Policy Director at United Against Nuclear Iran. You have been wonderful and given us some great insight this morning. We hope that we can count on you in the future. You were amazing. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.